Hello, I'm Eric Reynolds of Bandana Man, and it's the first week after New Year's, and my thoughts automatically go to what do you do with a Christmas tree? So today I thought, hey, let's teach people how to make a bough bed, and that'll use up the Christmas tree. A bough bed, or a browse bed, or a ground bed is an emergency bed that you make to protect yourself from losing heat to the ground through ground conduction. You can lose a lot of heat through ground conduction. Let's say you're caught unawares in the wilderness. It's getting late. Right now it's about 4 o'clock-ish. And while it's 35 degrees today, which is warm for January in this area, it's been snowing off and on, it's damp, and it's going to drop into the 20s tonight. And it's also a little windy. You know you're going to need to make a bough bed to protect yourself from the ground since you're stuck out here tonight. How do you do it? How many branches do you need? Let's experiment. All right, but first things first, we need to talk about safety. First off, before you ever do this for yourself, do it in a controlled setting, such as your backyard or 100 yards away from your car which is parked at a trailhead. Always make sure you have a buddy. The other thing is, whenever I go out in the woods, I always bring an axe with me. You don't absolutely need an axe to build a bough bed, but it really does make things a lot easier. If you don't have an axe, you can still make a bough bed. I've done it before, but you're limited to things that you can break with your hands. So, in either case, since we're talking about axes, what we need to talk about is axe safety. All right? One of the most important things to do about axe safety is making certain that you have clear space all around you with which to swing your axe, okay? That's called checking your blood circle. You want to make sure that there's nothing that's going to catch up this axe, or you're not going to accidentally slam it into anything, such as a limb which will deflect it into your leg, or your buddy who happened to be too close and you didn't realize it. So this is how you check your blood circle. First you swing the axe this way, nothing that way, then you swing it over your head, nothing over there. Awesome. Now, another thing for axe safety, when it comes to cutting the limbs off this tree, you always need to make sure the axe head is on the side that you're cutting on is on the opposite side away from your leg. Let me repeat that. You want to make sure that the tree trunk is between you and the branch you're cutting, and you want to cut parallel to the trunk, and you start at the base and move to the crown. Okay, so like this. Okay, and you just limb the thing up. Now, what you need to do also when you build your browse bed or your bough bed is work about location, location, location. Now, behind me is where I'm going to be making my bough bed. And it's going to be right here against this tree. Now the tree is actually going to act as a windbreak for tonight, because the wind is going to come down this creek tonight, because wind flows down creek at night, flows up creek during the day. This is going to be where I set up my browse bed, okay? And I've already limbed up one of the trees, as you can see. What you need to do, and by the way, you don't need to have spruce leaves, or in this case balsam boughs, for a bough bed. It can be made of anything. It can be leafed or unleafed branches. It could be goldenrod. It could be cattails. It could be ferns. It could be clovers. It could be anything. It just has to be able to compress down and give you dead air space. Okay. It does need to be dry though, or at least have the excess moisture or snow shook off of it. Now, if you go and look at the internet and you look up bough beds or browse beds, you're going to see a lot of information about taking the branches and sticking them butt end into the ground at a 45-degree angle. You know, smaller ones anyways, because that was designed to maximize the comfort of the mattress that you're making. I'm not particularly interested in maximizing the comfort of my stay out here. What I am interested in is minimizing the amount of time and effort and energy expenditure and sweat that I need to go about making it. Oh, and one other important safety consideration. When you're cutting these, if you start getting warm, shed some layers. Take it easy. Go slow. You don't want to overheat and you don't want to get sweaty, because wet clothes kill. Okay? Now, the Morse-Kachansky pattern is the pattern that I'm going to emulate today. His pattern was not designed for maximizing comfort. It was designed for survival. He talked about taking your branches and laying them on the ground in a chevron pattern, so that the leafy tips are at about a 90-degree angle from each other, like that. That's the Morse-Kachansky pattern. That's how I built this pile here. Now, this pile started out as this tree, which is a 7-foot tall blue spruce originally. I chopped these all off. It took me about 10 minutes to do it. I ended up with about 50 branches, and it made a pile that is about 28 inches wide, and 28 inches deep, and about 28 inches high. Now, when you compress it down, it comes down to about 18 inches. Okay, that's a good deep bit for me. And I was planning on leaning against this tree tonight as my shelter, so I was planning on sitting like this. So this is going to be actually a pretty decent ground barrier for me, especially if I had put something over top of me. That's really all you need to do. Now, if I wanted to lay down, I'd have to limb up that other tree and pile some more here, or I could limb up some others and make a bit more of a windbreak. But that's all you really need to do to make a bough bed. So I'd like to thank my cameraman Aiden for filming. I'd like to also say, as always, please check me out at the Woodsman's Journal online or at my YouTube channel, Bandana Man Productions. And until next time, happy trails.